Welcome to my channel where we bring you the very best of Harry Potter. And now, without further ado, let's begin. Number 4. Detention. Draco Malfoy was used to In fact, he had quite a collection of them. Usually, they were for using a forbidden spell or hexing someone in the corridors. But this time he'd been caught trying to sneak out of the school during curfew. Filch had caught him and instead of just giving him another detention, the caretaker had handed him a flickering candle, muttered something about old tunnels and locked the door. Draco was furious. This was a new one. Where were the other students when he needed them? They could have helped him fight whatever creature was lurking in the shadows. But there was no one. He was alone. And Filch had taken his wand? What did the old man want anyway? As Draco descended deeper into the dungeons, the air grew colder. Suddenly, a draft of wind blew past him, extinguishing his candle. Panic rising within him, he waved his hand frantically in the darkness, until he felt something hard and cold. It was a wall. He traced his fingers along it, until he found a small indentation. And as he pressed his palm against it, the stone rumbled. A section of the wall slid aside, revealing an archway. Light spilled out from beyond, and Draco peered into the gloom, shielding his eyes. Cautiously, he stepped inside. But he didn't see a dungeon or a secret passage. Instead, he stood before a vast cavern filled with swirling mist. And at its center was an ancient stone archway pulsing with an eerie green light. It hummed with power, beckoning him closer. Curiosity and trepidation warred within him, but curiosity won. As he approached, the arch seemed to reach out, wrapping itself around him. A voice echoed within his mind, a voice that sent shivers down his spine. It was his own voice, yet distorted, ancient, like it belonged to a stranger. Draco, it called again. Draco, my son. Was it some kind of trick? A Dementor, perhaps? But why would a Dementor know his name? Why was it calling him? He hesitated, fear constricting his throat. But the voice urged him on. With a deep breath, he stepped through the arch. The world spun. 1 minute, he was standing before the arch. The next, he was in a dark, narrow corridor. Disoriented, he turned around, but the arch was gone. In its place was a solid stone wall. He pressed against it, but it was no use. There was no archway, no way back. Then he heard the voice again. Closer this time. Draco, you have returned. The voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. Startled, Draco hurried down the corridor, not daring to look back. He didn't want to see what lay beyond that arch. Whatever it was clearly dangerous. Yet he couldn't help but feel a strange sense of familiarity, as if he'd been here before. A chill ran down his spine. How had he not noticed this place before? Had it been hidden all along? What was this place, and how could he get back to the castle? His mind raced, but the only answer he got was the voice. Draco, you are home. When Harry heard Draco humming that night, he almost choked on his pumpkin juice. Ron and Hermione looked at him, eyebrows raised, as Draco, pale and shaken, stumbled out of the Slytherin common room and made his way to the dungeons. Harry knew something had happened to him, something big. He could tell by the haunted look in Draco's eyes, the way he kept glancing over his shoulder as if expecting someone to grab him. And then there was the humming. It wasn't just a strange, tuneless sound. It was a melody that seemed to seep into Harry's bones, sending shivers down his spine. It was a lullaby, a song meant to soothe and comfort. But the words were in a language Harry didn't recognize, a language that sounded ancient and echoed with power. What had happened to Draco in that detention? What dark magic had he stumbled upon in those forbidden tunnels? The answers, Harry knew, were far from ordinary. If you enjoyed these eerie Hogwarts tales, don't forget to subscribe. Comment below with your theories about what Draco saw behind the portal. And remember, the more you feed the beast, the more it grows. Until next time.